Hello. Hello, zombie slayer. I've not appeared. Let me fix that. Oh no, I'm gone. My poppin. He's just gone. He's dead. Oh no, that's not good. I'll fix that. Maybe. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Brain trying to figure out why I do not exist. I exist. All it took was turning it off and then turning it back on again. Literally just hiding it and then unhiding it. Fixed it. That was weird. Hello, Zombie Slayer. Heavens worshipped, its miracle of mass returns. I'm here. Hello. Greatly pleased me beyond measure to see you find robust health. Yes, thank you. I hope you are doing well. I have a bit of a tension headache, so I got a little bit of a headache, but I've taken some Panadol, so I should be okay. And okay enough to do some more comic, of course. So, I think that's what we're gonna do. Headache? No, it's all good. It happens. It happens. It's just because I've had like a slightly sore neck recently, and then basically the sore neck moved to the base of my skull and then has become just a tension headache, which is fine. It happens. To be fair, to be honest, I think a stomach ache is far better. Honestly, if I had to choose than stomach ache, that's a fair toss up, isn't it? I hate stomach aches. For me personally, I would probably take a headache over a stomach ache. But that's just me. And I'm definitely not the authority on preferred physical maladies. But hey, what can you do? Headache makes you want to chop your head off. Relax, Twitch. I won't actually off myself. Good that you are adding that stipulation. We don't want TOS coming down on us, because we're good beans. We're good beans. Just talk about headaches and other things. But anyway, I might grab some water, but I will be right back, and then we can get started on the comic. If I get a headache, I don't feel like I can actually relax. Stomach ache is painful, but I'll just lay down. That's fair. I've had some pretty awful gastro, and I think that's why, like, nowadays I'm definitely not a huge fan of stomach aches, because like the last two really bad illnesses I've had have both been gastro, and they've both been like situations where I've just been like, I think I'm going to vomit, and I hate the idea of vomiting, and I hate vomiting just in general. So I think for that, like for me personally, that makes it so much worse. But yeah. Anyway, we'll be right back. Gotta go grab some water. I won't be long. I'm back, baby. Got my water in my jug, my water jug. Oh, delicious water. Somebody message me? That's fine. Although what will kill me is those leg cramps that last for a good 15 to 45 seconds. Those do suck too, yes. No doubt in my mind there. Now let's jump. Let's jump. Let me put my glove on too. I got a drawing glove that I need to be wearing so I don't smear oils on my screen and peanut butter from my hands. No, I don't actually have peanut butter on my hands. Don't worry, I'm not weird. This is the next page. Because we're on that now. We're on a new page. We're doing line work again. Back at the beginning of the process. Line work, and then color, and then, yeah, just always the cycle, which is good. The ones where if you stretch too hard and too much for too long, the body goes, fuck it, leg cramps time. Yeah, that's rough. That's not fun. And I'm not certain how I'm gonna do this panel, like these panels, because they're a bit like wacky. Do I maybe just do them all as they are and then overlay ratchet? I think that might be the go. Is that we just do like wedge panels and then we just draw ratchet over them. Just because otherwise it's gonna be too complicated. At least I think so. Yeah, I think it's gonna be too complicated otherwise. So we'll do these two just as normal. But then the rest are just wedges. Because that's the best we can do. I think it'll be way too complicated otherwise. And then the rest are polyline, yeah. Yeah. About there. Yeah, that's probably the best we can do. Because, yeah, otherwise it'll be just way too complicated. And I'd also rather not design panels built around this one image as well, because it's just needless contours that might limit the panel itself. So I think it's probably for the best that we do it in a slightly weird way now. Yeah, I can live with that. I can live with it, yeah. Then we just draw a ratchet over them. Seasickness and car sickness, though, those make you just want to quit. Yeah, those suck. Those definitely suck. Like, I don't wish seasickness or car sickness on my worst enemy. Okay, let's get started. And because, of course, we are only doing line work today. So let's see how we do. And of course, I drew her hair because I love Ella's hair. But all of it, or most of it, is going to just be covered, so fuck me, I guess. I'd throw up, but there's no heckin' way I'm risking to throw up in a car. Yeah, it sucks. Like, car sickness is terrible. At least with seasickness, there is somewhere to throw up. Into briny ocean. Into briny sea. The best place. I mean, not the best place. But hey, we're feeding the fish. We're feeding the sea creatures like the Cthulhu. And such. That'll do it. Yeah, just not a big fan of vomiting. either. That just feels shit to me. Honestly, like I hate it. And I know it's the indice, yeah. It's the impurities leaving the body, but like, ugh. It always feels horrible. I love that we're 12 minutes in and we're already talking about vomiting. Oh, ad break currently. So for everybody who is not subscribed, we'd kind of just take a pause and then wait until the ad is over, and then we kind of continue back doing what we're doing. I will continue drawing, but only because basically you're not missing too much. I can vomit, but the little pieces of vomit in your throat are horrible. Yeah, I mean, vomiting just in general is horrible. I don't think anyone necessarily enjoys the process, you know? You know what I'm saying? In unrelated, in unrelated news. Oh, hello, Smiley. I'm glad you're having a good time with the tarot. How's that sound? How's the audio for that? It's quite faint. Definitely put it down a little bit. But yeah, how you doing, Smiley? All of the characters are also in for those tarot now. Sounds better? That's good. That's good. So if you have the names of the other, if you know the names of the other characters, using those commands will actually pull up their cards as well. So all of the characters are now in and input. Christian, we're talking about vomiting and I see chicken katsudon. What? Wait. Yeah, katsudon. Chicken katsudon. It's delicious. Well, it's Ratchet's favorite food. The katsudon. We love a katsudon here. Because that's our sweet baby boy's favorite food. Yeah. But yeah, so... Oh, you got it, Patelli! Yeah, so they all work. And you can get rundowns and information on all the characters now. Some of them I have left intentionally vague, just because there are certain characters that we don't necessarily want you to know information about right away. But others, like Patelli, we actually do get a little bit more information. And I thought this would be good because basically it's not information that would spoil anything. It's information that you will kind of learn in the first few volumes, or first few chapters. So ultimately, like stuff with Patelli, like her violent tendencies originating from an enchanted transplant heart. I need to switch those around, heart transplant. But basically, that's her kind of running story arc, is that she has strange violent tendencies that are brought about by the magic involved in a strange heart transplant. A mysterious heart transplant, which has caused her to grow up to be quite violent. And yeah. But then other things, you'll get characters who definitely don't have as much information, and it's intentional. Can't wait to see how you bring these tarot designs into reality. Well, actually, I'm very glad that you have brought that up, because I have just received word that they are being cut and printed. So the first tester tarot card is being printed and cut as we speak. So I will receive that sometime this week, and I'll let you know how it goes. But they will be coming to the store. With those, with the tarot, and as I was saying in the Discord, but with the tarot and the hoodie, those are going to be special orders or pre-orders. So depending on how many people order them, basically, will dictate how many I get printed and made. and then they get kind of sent out, and I'll do rounds of that as opposed to just leaving it up in the store and then having, when people order them, basically getting them cut, because ultimately I feel like it'll be quicker for people to get their orders if they pre-order them as opposed to if they order them one by one, or if I order them one by one. So for the tarot and then also for the hoodies, it'll be like, hey, this week I'm going to be taking pre-orders for these things. Place an order and we will get them to you. And like as a result, that'll probably be quicker than if you just order one. If you order just the one, and then I have to just place an order for one, because I'm getting these all externally made. So as a result, like printing and embroidering times will vary, and if we're just doing one at a time, then ultimately it's going to be a longer wait period than a bulk order, essentially. So yeah, but yeah, I'm going to see the tester, and then I have a plan. So I won't keep you all in the dark, but I'm making a little ad for the tarot cards. And basically the ad consists of myself and my friend filming a little video. My friend is really good at card tricks, so I'm getting him to do some like card tricks with the tarot, and that'll be the video. My lord, my lord, my lord. What's up? What's up, Zombie Slayer? Do you remember us talking about Megan Foster's friend in Dishonored that was killed? Yeah. Yes, I do. It was a while back, but I definitely do remember that. Because we talk about Dishonored. We love to talk about Dishonored. Such a good game series. Beep. I'm just trying to think. Do you... Ooh, actually. Smiley, I kind of want to test something. And because you're one of the people who is most consistent with... Is this the right one? It is! Yep. I wanted to test that, so I have put the music in this. Interesting. So, Laudanum, which is my favorite song by Mike. My composer, Mike, has worked on a few songs, and one of them is for the Dream Lurker. And yeah, it's one of my favorites. But I wanted to check if I'd put the music in. Well, I'm reading about that now, and in one of the Dishonored books you got. Oh, cool. Yeah, but I was just testing that, yeah. Yeah, so we got, Laudanum, which is my favorite of the songs so far. Mike is currently working on Dogen's song, which I'm really keen for as well. Remember, everyone, all mushrooms are magic. This ends my seminar. I mean, some mushrooms definitely have a magic to them. I won't disagree. I won't disagree at all. Yeah. But like, the stuff Mike has done for the music is... Ugh. Mouse's most useless mod? No, that's not true. I got other far more useless mods than Silent. Silent's actually done stuff. I've got mods that are just Nepo babies, essentially. Oh. You kind of asked for that, Zombie Slayer. Now, I don't necessarily condone abuse of power, but Silent told me that he was gonna be, like, corrupt. So really, I should have expected that. That was good. That was very funny, Silent. I'm also realizing that I put all of Laudanum in the file. I did indeed ask for it, yeah. It's fine. We know not to mess with... Well, you know not to mess with Silent. We all know not to mess with Silent, really. don't necessarily know if I wanna. I'll think about it. So good, yes. It was like very good comedic timing as well. Yeah, we got all of them. That's fine, of course. I can live with it, but I don't know. I might do like more reduced versions for each of it. My lord, this very similarly or sort of resembles Assassin's Creed 3 menu music, or part of it does. Yeah, absolutely. It's got similar cadences. If I remember correctly, I used a lot of. This won't have anything to do with what you just said, but the influences I used or provided Mikey with, was music, like Polish music, Polish folk music. I exist here to spawn convox like Rattlefield. Okay, Rattlefield as in 2 T's. Yes, definitely Rattlefield as in 2 T's. It's definitely a double T word for us. Hold on. I don't yet. Post correction on this line work. That's not going to mean anything for a lot of you, but for me, it's just a minute thing. That just adds a little bit of correction to my work, to my line work, which I do feel like I need sometimes. Otherwise it just gets too messy. I might even just make 2 different pens, really. Oh, come on. It started as I was drawing a line. That's fucking annoying. How dare you, Clip Studio Paint? How dare you do that to me? As a wise man once said, to see who is wrong, look at who silences you. Who said it first? Well, I did. Yeah, be careful. You're gonna get you're gonna get silenced again if you ain't careful, mate. We ain't here to speak out against tyranny. 2 of us manage it. 2 of us manage that tyranny. Myself and Silent. I dislike how like high up this scarf is, because it doesn't make sense. Why the hell did I draw the scarf so high? You can redo stuff, but yeah. I prefer like a sharper jawline with Ratchet, but there's a really good, like there's a really hard balance that I need to find between a sharp jawline and just a weird face. And sometimes Loki, Yes, definitely. If I go down a little bit deeper and then jut out just a bit more sharply, then we should be better. Another thing that I've also started doing is that I talked for such a long time about being like, I should really zoom in. The one piece of advice I actually got about making detailed illustrations, like good detailed illustrations, is that I shouldn't zoom in. So it's like, oh cool, something I've been telling myself I've been doing wrong all this time, I'm actually doing for a reason. There's actually a benefit to it. Or I'm now being told, hey, no, you shouldn't zoom in, because you're not looking at the image as a whole. As a result, you're getting too bogged down in the minute detail, and it's gonna waste time. You gotta, yeah, if you're drawing big detailed scenes, you gotta look at the image as a whole. Or at least look at it more broadly. And I guess maybe one way of making that easier is if I had just like the whole image on another screen. But then I need another screen. All my screens are covered. So I can't do that right now. His backpack. Ah, for fuck. Damn it. His backpack. It's not visible. But his backpack straps would be. Why must you punish me? Oh, drawing lords. It's always good. It always feels very vindicating to be told that you're actually doing something right, even though you feel like you've been doing it wrong. My lord, permission to spoil part of the Dishonored books. Permission denied. No, permission granted. Go for it. I'm not going to read them. Like, I'm never going to read them, so please feel free to spoil them. You're not going to spoil them for me. You're actually going to tell me what happens. That's the thing. Like, if I never plan to read them, then it's not spoiling, I think. In my opinion, it's not spoiling. Because I'm not reading them. So instead you're actually providing a conclusion for me. Or like closure to certain things that maybe I didn't necessarily think about or care about, but that's fine. But also chat, I hate to spoil them. That's fine. Dishonored, it's been a few years since Dishonored came out. So I feel like you're okay. And if I say it's okay, then they have to deal. They can be angry at me. I've provided permission. Wow, just not getting those words out. I've provided permission, so spoil as you see fit. Ah, man, water. Good water. Hold on, let me just spoil Macbeth for everyone real quick. Not like they've had a few centuries to see the thing. Yeah, I think that's fair. Like, honestly, they've had ample opportunity to read Macbeth. If they didn't want to be spoiled, they should have read it by now. But I was getting around to it. I was going to watch it at the theatre. Well, fuck you. So when Deidre, Megan Foster's lover, is killed, it's also the same time that Megan Foster met Dowd, although she didn't know it was Dowd. But it is the one and only Knife of Dunwall. Dowd kills the attackers who killed her lover, and then he vanishes. Okay, that makes sense because she was still quite young at the time, so realistically, she wouldn't have made it out of that situation alive if it were just her. Realistically. And maybe Dishonored's not the most realistic of games, sure, but like, you know what I mean. Suspension of disbelief only goes so far. Give him a little expression. I'm literally learning this info as we speak. Yeah. I sees it. Wish this was could correct to a slightly more complete circle. Or maybe I ought to just get good. I'm gonna get good. Yeah, basically as soon as I take it off post-correction for the pen line, I'm actually drawing the circle better. Because it doesn't do circles very well for post-correction. For like the pen auto-correcting afterwards, it doesn't do circles very well. There's realism, and then there's, well, okay, listen, they're humans, but they're still magic, you dickwad. I mean, yeah, but yeah, it's like I said, it's the suspension of disbelief. They're still human, so as a result, there's only so much you like can expect your readers to believe. If a character is thrown against a wall really, really hard, and then they just get up as if they've not suffered any pain, then you immediately assume either they are magically inclined or something is very wrong in the writing. Where is Ir? There we go. Slightly better. It doesn't have to be super realistic. Same with Gears of War. Yeah, no, it doesn't. Yes, they eat bread and chickens and such, but at the same time, the Gao universe is old. Oh, huh? Is a world where the Hollow Earth theory is a thing. Yeah. Oh, Gears of War. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. There is a level of sci-fi, science fiction, or fantasy to it. Yeah, but then it is also grounded in reality. It's what allows us to kind of understand what's going on in a sense. But then also by those same rules, with the same kind of grounding principles, you still have to kind of obey certain laws. In that, if like a train spike goes through a human body, they're not going to just walk it off. They'd have to die. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by suspension of disbelief. Is that there's only so much people can like believe before they start questioning things. Before they start questioning the validity of things, you know. It's a very sharp jaw. It's a very, very sharp jaw. I'm probably going to need to carve out a slightly less sharp jaw from this, which is fine, because we don't want such a sharp jaw on this face. Or on any face, really. No character needs to have a really sharp jaw, except for Jimmy Sharpjaw, the Sharpjaw King. Other than him, no one needs a sharp jaw. Of course, that does make sense. Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. In Dishonored, there are talking rats, but if you fall from the top of a building, you will die. It all makes sense. That's a drawback to not using post correction. But that I kind of make multiple attempts at the same line. But I would rather just do that and slowly get better and better at doing it than use post correction and then have like a janky looking circle. It's also way easier to say that's Tivian bread than making up an entirely different words for food. Yeah, which I do understand. Yeah, well, actually, I was reading something about that today, like this morning, and it's like anytime a fantasy like book or story has champagne. Champagne's a region in France, which means, oh, does this fantasy world have a France? And it's like, no, let's just there's a certain level of suspension of disbelief where basically fantasy stories can have champagne, because you could always kind of argue the point that, oh, it's a wizard named Champagne who invented the sparkled grape drink. We're looking at making mouse right now. Why not talking rats? We're looking at talking mouse right now. Why not talking rats? Talking rats is fine. I use it just as an example. It's just an example. Don't worry. We're already living in a magical world because it's got me in it. So of course this world is magical. Case in point, talking rats, talking mouse. How do we know that talking rats aren't real? We can't. I feel like there's always kind of like drawbacks to various different kind of digital settings. And it's part of what I've been doing lately is just trying to find a system that works well for me, because the post illustration correction that works with Clip Studio Paint doesn't work for me, just because the lines always feel very janky. But then just drawing freehand feels a little bit too messy. I don't know. But I feel like it's the kind of messy that I can slowly get better at and learn to make work for me. Whereas with the post correction, it's almost a bit like, it's almost super hard to kind of account for. And it's my main reason why I don't feel inclined to use it. You should also probably arch in a different way, but I also dislike them fully, so I'm actually just going to get rid of them. Just the little creases, I don't like them. For this bit specifically. It's far easier to say XYZ country name red/white wine. Like in Gears of War universe, there's such thing as Austria Red from the Austria Republic. What's the bottle look like? What's the manufacturer? Where are the factories? Where are the vineyards? I don't know, but it's a thing. Yeah, of course. And we've got Tivian wine and Tivian like ale and stuff like that in Dishonored. I guess in a way it's a question of how much world building do you want to do, and that's very much hard world building. So there's like hard world building and soft world building. And with soft world building, you kind of imply the existence of multiple other things, but then deny the existence of larger, like broader things. Yeah. So, Morley and Pear, yeah, cider, and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just an active choice you make as a storyteller. Crystal Apple, also cider, yeah. But yeah, it's kind of up to you how much world building you want to do. I think the most important thing though is that you have to be able to answer questions that exist within your storytelling. And that's where like non-negotiables of storytelling come into play. Oh, we got lightning. G'day, Crier. I was in chat and saw someone called Grave Mouse. Oh my goodness. Grave Mouse? That's not me. I have no association with the grave. But I have a great association with the grey. Oh, I need to draw Armella's face, but I'm just gonna finish off what remains of Ratchet. And by Ratchet, I also mean his dang backpack, because I also just didn't draw that. Is it storming near you? Yeah, it is. We had just a few claps of the Thunder Cheeks just moments ago. Ding ding backpack, yeah. Dang backpack, ting dang backpack. Sky cheeks clapping, how exciting. I do like Thunder. I dislike it for when I'm streaming just because I don't want to have like a power outage or anything like that during that time. But beyond that, I'm excited for a bit of rain while I sleep. You also don't want to, I guess, accidentally misinform your audience. Let's say in Dishonored 1, there's far more food that Sukonos... What? There's far more food that Sukonos. Is there a lore reason for that? I don't know what that means. Oh, then there's far more food than there is in Sukonos. Is there a lore reason for that? Sure, it could be that Dunwall has the capital of the Empire being Bristol, but the development reason is probably the developers just had more time to work on Dishonored 1. That's hard. I get where you're coming from. It's very hard to quantify, I think. Because it does beg a really good point that why is there more food abundantly available in Dishonored 1? Sorry for lack of wording. You're okay. I got it. I got there in the end. So you never need to apologize as long as I can kind of understand what you're saying, it's totally fine. Don't even worry about it. It's a good point. It's a really good point and a very good question because really, why is there more food in Bristol? I mean, one explanation I could have is that Bristol is the capital and it's the trade center. So as a result, it would have more food or it wouldn't have a greater abundance of resources because it's all trickling into one location. Whereas Sukonos is a trade port. Or an export port, so as a result, it's having more stuff leave. But it does, I mean, game development wise, it wouldn't make sense for Crystal to have more food abundantly available in the game for development reasons because Dishonored 2 is more developed and had more time as well. I'm not sure that was intended with the lore. The devs just thought, hey, let's put a lot of food. I mean, to be fair, again, to be fair to Dishonored 1 and Dishonored 2, in Dishonored 1 you spend a lot more time around wealthy aristocrats, whereas in Dishonored 2 your targets are largely cultists. If you know what I'm getting at. So, and I think this is probably where the explanation comes from. So, your enemies in Dishonored 2... we'll start with Dishonored 1. Your enemies in Dishonored 1 are wealthy aristocrat traitors. So the Lord Regent, the High Overseer, and characters along those lines. Lady Boyle at her party, which is basically a decadent ball for all of her rich friends, which definitely does bolster the amount. Additionally to that, they had a greater amount of time to revel in their own success and wealth because if we remember, Corvo was locked away in prison for many months, whereas in Dishonored 2, it is immediately after the actions of the coup. Then again, also an additional point, with Dishonored 2, your targets are a hospital, the head of a hospital, so a lady who would not have an abundance of food with her because she works in a rundown, disused hospital. She's basically a prisoner in her own hospital. Kieran Jindosh, who is a man who lives alone, so he probably wouldn't need much food anyway. Corvo was in prison for 6 months. Exactly. Just to clarify, whenever you talk about writing, whatever you say I'm down for because you know a lot about writing. In this instance, I'm actually kind of trying to work this out with you because I'm very curious about. It's a really good question. It's a really good point. But I'm now for me, I'm working through it now. I'm working through an explanation with you guys and trying to figure it out for myself because I'm curious about it too. And I think I've landed on an answer. Is that a lot of our targets in Dishonored 2 are less provincial. They have had less they've had less time to wallow in decadence than our enemies or our targets in Dishonored 1. So in Dishonored 2, like I was saying, then Brianna Ashworth, who is quite decadent, but not decadent in terms of like, not money, decadent in terms of a lavish lifestyle. You actually read some of her journals, and she actually actively avoided stuff like that. But then she is like the head of a cult. She's the head of a group of witches who would eat food to live, but they weren't the kinds of characters to revel in gluttony. They're rich but not wealthy. So they're rich in terms of finances, but they don't live lavish lives, if you know what I mean. True, but then why is 2003 Sonic Hero Sonic the fastest hedgehog can move as fast as Big the cat? That's a really good question. And to answer that, I'd like to say I wish I knew more about Sonic than I do. I've never played a Sonic game. I wish I was more into Sonic than I actually am. I don't know anything about Sonic. I don't know shit about Sonic. Sorry, sorry, I know nothing about Dishonored. That's fine. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, Cryo. I know nothing about Sonic. I wish. Here's the thing. The two kind of like things I wish I was more into than I actually am: Sonic and Godzilla. I wish I was super into Godzilla, but I'm not. I actually know very little about Godzilla. But I wish I knew more about Godzilla, or I wish I was more into Godzilla. And then also Sonic. Totally fine. Yeah, it's totally okay. We will teach you. No, yeah. Dishonored's pretty niche. I don't know. I don't know about that. Sort of. I mean, like, I would agree with you, but it's very hard to quantify. Again, it's a video game that is very, like, very... It tickles a very specific itch, I think. So some people, yeah, were definitely not into it, for sure. And then people who were into one weren't necessarily into two, for whatever reasons. Wiki like Dishonored? You just didn't get into it? Yeah, fair enough. That makes sense. Yeah, some people were super into Dishonored. I love Dishonored. I think I made that very evident with my playthrough of it, because I just was rambling on about it while we were playing. But, yeah. It's not a game for everybody, and that's totally okay. Because it is very, like... Yeah, I would say it's niche. It's pretty niche. It's okay, it was a good joke. I love the okay, but what about this? Yeah. Hey, maybe Christine, how you doing? I am good. I have a little headache, but it's nothing that I can't handle, so we're just sitting doing some chill line art. Currently working on a little bit of like looking to learn a little more about cell shading, so I'm working on that. How are you? How you doing? You great. Thanks. Oh no. No. No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm pretty used to headaches and stuff. Not in a like worrying way. But like I mean my family are pretty predisposed to headaches and stuff like that, so I'm okay with it. And it's a tension headache, so I did it to myself. I really kind of did it to myself, so I'm okay. But yeah, other than that, it's like a perfect opportunity to just chill out, do some line work. Knowing that we have the Sunday deadline stream if we do fall behind, which I don't think we will. So things are going very, very well. How did your art turn out? I saw it. Oh, Jesus. I need to tuck these into my hoodie. I've got the little hoodie straps. Hoodie strings. They keep banging against my desk. It's very annoying. A page a week. Ideally. Ah! Bumped my elbow. Yeah, ideally I'd like to get a page a week done because we have about 7 pages left before the end of the chapter. And I'd love to get this chapter done before I head to Japan for November. But we'll see how we go. See, watching Wiki play it, I'm like, wow, I like it a lot. I like a lot of this, but playing it, I just couldn't. That's fair. It's also, it could be quite like nauseating to play a little bit. Dishonored is very like it's a first person like parkour game, so it could be quite nauseating for some people. I had elbow bump very loud and clear. Yeah, I'm I've never gotten used to the length of my limbs, I think. So every now and then I just bump stuff. I was also going to say, Christine, how'd your uh, frog boba turn out? Because last time I saw you on stream, you were working on that, and it looks super cute. Love what you're doing with it. It's such a cool, like, clever idea. I'm such a big fan. Oh, stretching my back as well. Gotta make sure to stretch when you can. I know I have a stretch, like, timer, but I'm gonna stretch anyhow. It's done. Glad you liked it. I just love very creative ideas, you know? Always a big fan. When someone has like ideas like that, I'm always like 100% on board. Frog Boba is cute, but the name Boba Toad make me happy. Yeah, Boba Toad, very cute name. Oh, this is my friend Boba Toad. This is my son, Boba Toad. Oh, thank you, Zombie Slayer. Yeah, we may as well take a moment to just stretch ourselves. Take care of that fucking headache. I'm feeling pretty good. You can like tell by my voice that I definitely sound a bit drained, but I don't feel too bad. Have some water. Everybody better be hydrating too. I'm working on a little animation where I'll drink some like juice or something at every like hydrate reminder. Or a Yakult. Because let's be honest, I love Yakult. And then just a little stretch, so I'm gonna stretch my arms out. Raise them up to the sky. Stretch. Feel it all through my back. It's a good stretch when you make noises or like shake while you're stretching. Not necessarily pain, but when your leg gets numb, you try to walk and wobble like a baby walking for the first time. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I hate that. I once was sitting in a school assembly, then I got that foot numbness. I've been hydrating like fuck at the gym. Good. You got to stay hydrated. Yeah, I got like a numb foot while at an assembly, and then when we were setting up to leave, I couldn't step on it. It was like that leg didn't exist, like it had been amputated. Um, and so I stumbled out of the assembly hall with a bunch of people watching me like, is this kid stupid? Is this kid like a moron or something? And I'm just like, ah man, that's embarrassing. Nothing I could do about it though. Beyond my control. Oh my god, my boy got pins and needles in his hand for the first time the other week. He was so scared. Oh no! Poor little bean. We all go through it. Don't even worry about it, little cryo. I get that though. It is such a weird feeling for sure. So I fully get it. But yeah. What a sweet little bean. He's okay with just sleeping on it, yeah. When you like roll over in your hands, just like it's a glove filled with sand essentially at this point. And you're just like, ah! My hand no work. My body no work no more. Then when your toe like cramps, just specifically your toe, and it drifts into your other toe, like your big toe drifts into your other toe, and you're just like, ah, my foot hurts like hell. And feels really weird when you dislodge it and it just slides back into place. Maybe that's just me. Toe cramps. Oh, your toe cramps all the time. Good. I'm not alone then. Cool. I didn't just expose something that is just not universal. Thank goodness. I got him to stand up and swing his arm back and forth. I told him it'll feel like a lot of bugs and then it might hurt a little bit. Will go away fast. Fair. Yeah, nice. But it's the toe next to your big toe normally. Interesting. Weird. Yeah, no, it's my big toe normally. Which, don't know if that's weird or normal or whatever. It's just me. That's just how my foot cookie crumbles, you know? Happens when I swim and do split squats. That makes sense. I started my new routine at the gym as well. So now a lot more free weights and also now like a lot of warm-ups and stuff, which is really good cuz I never know what to do warm-up wise for the different parts of my body that I'm working out. So I'm really glad that my PT has actually provided me with actual like tangible warm-ups. Some of them are taking like is gonna take some time to get used to because I do feel kind of stupid. Like, and it's like no one cares at the gym, so it's totally fine, and I just need to get that out of my head. But like, I use the resistance bands, and I was like stretching my arms out with the resistance bands, and I definitely felt a little stupid like doing that. I felt a little silly, but it slowly got very very easy after a while because I was like, how far do I pull? I do think I'm going to get my own resistance bands though as well because I feel like I didn't have quite as much range of motion as I could have with my own. So yeah. I have a fairly all-encompassing stretching routine for upper body and one for legs. Nice. Take a video and show you one day. That'd be good. Yeah. You pull until resistance. Yeah, exactly. But I felt resistance almost immediately, so I feel like I was doing something wrong. I must have been doing something wrong because I felt almost immediate resistance. And not in like a, yeah, I'm the best kind of way. Resistance bands help you with pull-ups. Yeah, I use resistance bands for pull-ups too. They are great for that. I would actually almost consider them better than the assisted pull-up machine just because you aren't doing more with them. Like, you are getting more out of the exercise with the resistance bands than you would with the assisted chin-up machine, if you know what I mean. If you are not used to bands, the resistance is hard to learn. Yeah, definitely. That is also true. So when can I enter deadlift competitions, Cryo? That's never happening. Sorry. That was a joke. But for me, the hardest part is releasing the tension from your shoulder to get a full stretch. Yeah, I get that completely. It's such a weird feeling when you have very like direct and specific stretches for stuff like that, and then allowing your muscles to release a little bit because you naturally hold tight. Yeah, exactly. Where is Ratchet? He's there. I maybe shouldn't have added the pupil just yet. But when you release, it's crazy how far you stretch. I'm taking you with me, but I'm going outside to cook the barbecue. Hey, nice barbecue. Going, doing lamb, zucchini, and corn. Yum. That sounds delicious. I have something that will help you. Something that will help me? Is it steroids? Sorry, that's not funny. And roasting potatoes right now inside. Ooh, delicious. Sounds like a really nice dinner. Steroids is funny. If you say so. If you say so. Yes, it is actually. And Tren. Yeah, Tren and D-Ball. I know about them. Not for any particular reason. No, I've heard people joke about them. Not in the gym. Ice baths and cold plunges. I do know about ice baths and cold plunges. Uh, and to that I say, over my dead fucking body. No, I'm joking. No, I get that. And actually, to be fair, I did used to, when I used to go for big runs, because I live near the beach, I used to dive into the ocean after my runs. Yeah, I've heard ice baths are good, but I don't want to. Yeah, I think that's the mentality that I have. I do like a beach dip, basically, over my frozen ass corpse. Yeah, telling everyone you're getting on train is great fun. I bet. I bet. Surely people would say you don't need it, Cryo. You don't need Tren. You're better than that. Tren needs you. Tren needs your, like, genetics. Oh my god, they're so fun. Once you're used to them, yeah, I'm sure. But when you're not used to them, it's like the worst thing in the world. How does Armella's nose kind of dips like that and then is out slightly like that? Yeah, there we go. And then his front on like quite flat. This may actually also be just too short. Yeah, it's too short. Armella's got a slightly longer nose. Certainly longer than Ratchet's. But, you know what I'm saying. I do saunas, which are good for you, but I don't like them because just breathing is difficult because your mouth gets so hot. I dislike kind of the varying kind of discomfort of extreme temperature differences. Pro tip, always turn your barbecue on for 5 to 10 minutes before cooking to clear the cobwebs. That makes sense. That's a good idea. I don't own a barbecue, but I'll keep it in mind if I ever do own a barbecue. Because I would rather not have cobwebs on my burgers. Or mistakes. That's maybe a bit too flat. I'm gonna leave it for now. Just because I care very little. No, I'm not gonna leave that. It's just not right. And who knows what other things are in the trait? True, true. All I know is they will be charcoal soon enough. Nice. Very good, very good. I'll do a sauna, that's fine, but I hate the feeling of breathing. That's fair. I mean, anything that kind of stifles breathing is not fun. Even if it's good for you, you know? Oh, Rat Queen, hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome all. Let me just quickly give you a shout out. Welcome, Rat Queen and her court. How are you all doing? What were you working on? Were you working on art? Were you playing some video games? Were you playing some art? G games? How are you all? For those of you who don't know me, I'm Greymouse Inc., currently working on a comic. And I am also an Australian streamer who is big into Dungeons and Dragons and being a nerd. You made 3 new emotes. Ooh, cool. Very, very cool. If there's anything you'd like to share, please feel free to do so. Links are always welcome. But yeah, welcome. Get comfy. If you have anything that you need to do after your stream, because I'm sure you've been streaming for a while, if you need to stretch, you need to get up and do some walking, grab some food, go to the bathroom, anything like that, feel free to do so, and like definitely take care of yourself first and foremost. We will all be here anyway, so yeah. Thank you so much for the raid, of course, but if you need to raid and run, that is also more than okay. And he's big where it matters in the art community. Yes. I love getting really sweaty, especially at the gym, because it makes me feel like I worked hard. Yeah, definitely. Also, for those of you who are new in here or came in with the raid, we do like to talk about the gym a lot sometimes. Let me post these so I can share them. Awesome. Thank you very much. I'm very keen to see them. Also, he's kind of nice sometimes. Sometimes. I can also be a jerk sometimes too. But I'm a jerk to the people I like the most. So, you know that you're in good with the mouse if I'm mean to you. Or if I'm nice to you. So, you know, it's a bit of here and there. I'm very hard to read like that. I like to keep people on their toes. All same. Yeah, exactly. It's a very universal experience that if someone's mean to you, then it might mean that they like you or just mean, or if they're really nice to you, it might also mean they like you, but they also might just be nice. Let's check these out. You've been nothing but a gentleman to me. Quio. That's because I like to be. Some people I just like to be nice to. Now let me check out. Ooh, this is beautiful. Do you mind if I share this on stream, Rat Queen? Because this is fantastic. I love the colors. I love the colors. I've never played WoW, but I can definitely recognize the symbology and the imagery. Feel free. Easy as. Thank you so much. Let's jump over to the post your art. Punga, pull up the art. Also a little like thing that we have with these art like posts is that every single piece of art, every single new piece of art that we show, Punga learns just a little bit more. Punga is my apprentice, as you can see down there in the bottom left. He learns from all of you. Any art that you share, he learns from. He is a learning orangutan or little bear acorn thing. So every little piece of art, he's learning a little bit more because he wants to be an artist one day. So thank you so much for sharing this. Really love the colors. I really love the expressions. They're really just fantastic. The pose, the dynamic kind of like I love a dynamic cuddle in sketching. It's very cool. It's very hard to like draw two characters kind of pressed together in a hug. So you've done a fantastic job. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing it. It's awesome. You're just killing it. You're just doing great. What more can I say, right? It's awesome. Yeah, super cool. So thank you so much for sharing that. Took you forever? Yeah, it's like poses like that can be really tricky. Like I fully respect it. Like if you've managed to do a really good job. You've made it look easy, you know? You've done elegant work of it because it does not look like there's been any kind of struggle in it at all. You made it look very, very easy, so you're doing great work. And also it's like always a great learning opportunity to try something that is gonna be complicated, and even if you like suffer all the way through it, you've grown a little bit as an artist. So I'm sure you're feeling like kind of relieved that it's done, but also like you've learned, you know, in a sense. Or do you feel that way? Just as a question, do you feel like you've learned and grown through working on that? I don't know why I keep doing hand movements, you know, because none of you can see it. You can see the little hand movement I do here. No, it's not done at all. Oh no! Well, what's left? What do you still have left to do? What's your process look like for that? Those are just the flat colors. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, what's your process on a piece like that? asking one artist to another about their process, their general process. All the shading and lighting. Fair, 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 fair. And is that kind of your usual rendering process? Because I mean, it's pretty similar to my process from the sounds of it, which is good. Means I'm doing the right thing. Means I'm going in the right direction, you know. Oh, add in progress. Got a little posted up, and so we can we'll do. Sorry, as I recollect myself, we'll do a little pause so that no one misses anything. Take a little break. I'm gonna have a little bit of water while this ad is currently running. If you've missed the ad or anything like that, if you're a subscriber, this is just kind of what we do. We just keep things like nice and still while the other people are going through their poor ads. Personal growth. Ooh, I'm out. Yeah. New year, worse me. That's the best mentality. Yeah, though I wasn't expecting to turn it into an illustration. That's fair enough. But you never know. It's always kind of fun. It's always kind of fun to draw stuff. To expand out what you were going to draw with what you... expand out what you have drawn to what you want to expand on. I don't know what I'm saying there. But you know what I mean. Sometimes it's fun to kind of do what you least expect. Because usually, like, some of your best, like, I mean, at least some of my best drawings have come out of things that I was just like, I'll just get this done. Or I'll just kind of try this out. Some of my concept arts are my favorite illustrations. And they weren't even, like, intended to be anything more than, like, little sketches or thumbnails. So I feel like I can never guess what's gonna be, like, a joy to work on. Sometimes, especially the new stuff, because I've never done landscapes before, and I always feel like I'm going to struggle with a landscape, and then I end up really enjoying the process. What's her nose look like? Kind of like that. No, it's not. Do it like that. Just a little bit of line work. Just a little bit of depth. Backgrounds are super hard. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Yeah. 100%. I really dislike doing backgrounds. And if I can help it, I kind of just will build out just a very basic background, but as I'm doing the comic, like, it kind of demands that I do a little bit more and establish a little bit more, like, broader shots and, you know, more imagery of the land and things like that. So I can't kind of avoid it forever. So one of the, like, consolations that I've come up with is that I just eventually have to draw landscapes and backgrounds and things like that. So I would rather start practicing now in points where I'm doing a lot of dialogue. And, like, there will be a background in these spaces eventually, but it's very secondary. And one thing I am doing is that a lot of backgrounds now are going to be more painted with a little bit of line work to kind of just give them shape, because I enjoy that a lot. And that's really, really nice. Like, that's really nice to do, and it feels very rewarding to do it that way. But because I haven't done it for the comic before, I'm leaning into it. Because I love to draw faces. Like, I love, love, love drawing faces. And I love drawing expressive faces. And I love drawing weird faces and things like that. I'm just like, if I draw a good landscape, I can draw a weird face. I can draw a weird chiseled face kind of design afterwards. So it's a little treat. But it's also still drawing related. So that's kind of how I trick myself into doing the things I don't want to do. so that I'll bribe myself with the things that I do want to do. Hold on. I've got images of Armella right in front of me, like concept art of her. And I'm just like, what does her lip, like top lip look like? There's an image right in front of me, and there's a draft that I'm drawing in front, like over. What do you mean I don't remember? What do you mean you don't remember, Grey Mass? She's right there. Ugh, it's a bit messy. Because I'm also kind of working with less space. I never thought of it like that. It's, yeah, it's like it's that, you know, that kind of brain training mentality that I have. You kind of can condition yourself to work on the stuff that you're less